And that takes us up to number 9 on our list, New Relic. Ticker is NEWR, NEWR. Their trailing 12 is about $202 million. Their market cap about 1.42. And John, this is a company that you've been into, for quite a while here.
Yeah, I mean, I really like what New Relic does, even though the APM, the application performance management space, sounds kind of boring. They take a very interesting and innovative take on it. Their customers are also very rapidly growing companies that are paying New Relic more and more as they grow, such as Uber and so forth. And just to cut to the chase, what the value is, what New Relic does, I think, better than anybody is kind of do that cross-mapping between how your application is performing and how your business is doing. So a lot of the people that use New Relic's software are not just the guys in the IT department; they're actually the executives that are running these these companies where software is increasingly substituting for capital and labor as the means of production. I would like to see New Relic stay independent, and I think Lucerne, has very much that bent too. So that's why it's more of a number 9. I think it's a very valuable property, very valuable equity. But I just also think that this is the kind of 10-bagger over 10 years that is quite plausible in my view. Whereas it transformed from sort of an IT tool company to that kind of strategic software provider that everybody needs to have.
Hey, Guaylon?
I think if you look at the application performance management space, you definitely see the whole market benefiting from a lot of the secular trends going on as software becomes a bigger means of production within a lot of these companies.
Yeah.
It was just announced last night, or I read an article talking about one of their competitors, App Dynamics, is actually filing their IPO. And
so they did file.
They did file.
They did file. Okay, we were waiting for that one. I guess it happened. Okay.
And
interesting.
And they've actually had some very attractive growth themselves. They had, I think, they posted revenues at just about $105 million last year, and in the most recent quarter, according to the S1, showed the revenue right around $180 million. So they've had some pretty significant growth over the last year. It kind of speaks to the market opportunity in that space in general. But we see New Relic as a likely acquisition candidate, primarily because of the entrepreneurial nature of the CEO. I mean, this is not his first rodeo, and running a public company after so much success and dealing with all the ins and outs of Wall Street isn't the most appealing.
Thing for Lou, yeah, you might be right about that. Actually, I could see him bailing. I could see both, like where Lou wants to protect what he's built on one side, and see it through. But on the other side, you're right. He really is an entrepreneurial guy, really innovative, brilliant guy, in my opinion. Not to gush, but he really is. And I could see him kind of seeing over the corner, or around the corner, going, "Hey, you know what? I see even a bigger opportunity in AI, or something along those lines that makes him more excited."
Let me ask you then. We've listed our short list of potential acquirers here as VMware, IBM, Microsoft, Red Hat, and again Oracle. But is it possible that they could find sort of a merger of equals partner out there? Is there somebody that they might potentially hook up with?
That'd be kind of difficult, primarily because they're at such an infant stage in terms of the market opportunity, and so it'd be difficult to really identify who would be an apples to apples kind of comparison when you start talking about a merger of equals. And any successful entrepreneur is competitive. Yeah. And if you look at the competitive nature that success depends on, a merger of equals, in my mind, from a management standpoint, would be less attractive as to just selling out to a larger enterprise company.
In tech land, in the history of tech, there are very few successful merger of equals. Every time you see a merger of equal in tech, you know what I think of? I think Wellfleet and Bay Networks, because that was like almost a merger of exact equals. That, yeah, exactly. You were thinking the same thing. Yep. And I'm just thinking to myself, like, God, that was a disaster.
It was.
You know, and they just don't tend to work out. There are exceptions. I can't think of any off the top of my head, but I gotta agree with Guaylon. I don't see the merger of equals thing working for them, and I just don't see maybe synergy, maybe Atlassian, but that's not even a merger of equals. Atlassian's, I think, a significantly bigger market cap, but even that, you're kind of scratching your head, going, why would they do this?
Got it.
Anyway.
So just want to point out here that New Relic is a member of the Samadhi 4.
Yep.
That's our highest conviction category in the Samadhi Capital Partners client portfolio.